Maniac Psycho here to talk about a frankly disturbing trend I've noticed. Millennials and Zoomers think more in terms of group identity than individual identity, unlike Boomers and Xers. That's fine, but it seems like it has gotten to the point where being a certain race and gender carries with it a whole list of things you should own, views you should hold, ways you should live your whole life. Maniac is a straight white extra-male. This means I supposedly am a neo-Nazi who loves Adolf Hitler and Donald Trump, who spends hours online researching QAnon, who is a member of various specific online forums, and oh yes, who owns lots of semi-automatic rifles and other guns. Not to mention living in a trailer or a relative's basement and shitposting to the internet all day, being an incel and hating women too, and so on. Basically, being a straight white extra male means I'm seething with hatred at pretty much the entire human race, that my trailer has walls covered with Trump memes, Nazi flags, and posters of Hitler, that I spend hours cleaning my guns and say are extensions of my toxic masculinity and insuldom, and when I'm not doing that, I'm either shitposting to storm porn or PUA hate, or applying to kill people in a mass shooting. The thing is, I'm not, well, almost, any of this. It seems that one's race, gender, and generation has become a cult in which you will obey all the tenets and ways of looking at the world. You have no choice since it is inherent in you but to behave that way due to your inherent, unchangeable physical characteristics. In other words, society is not just made up of races and genders and generations, but of cults based on these. You dare not make the slightest slip from your preordained path or risk excommunication. In George Orwell's famous novel 1984, Winston has a neighbor named Parsons who is an enthusiastic supporter of the party and Big Brother to the point that Winston doubts he will ever be vaporized or disappeared. Towards the end of the novel, when Winston is incarcerated for thought crimes, he is stunned to meet none other than Parsons as a fellow prisoner. Apparently one of Parsons' kids heard him mumbling down with Big Brother in his sleep and turned him in. Parsons is thankful that his kid was on the ball and that he is being set straight. Orwell recognized that a way of life can become so refined as to become a cult where anything can get you disappeared. Race, gender, and generation identification is headed that direction in America, where you better pray you don't slip where else. It's fine to identify with others like you. It's not fine to turn it into Jonestown, where eventually the White Knight arrives and you drink the poison as the ultimate act of devotion. A white nationalist mercenary wrote a novel called Civil War II during the early days of the internet. In Civil War II, American society shatters into micro-militias who fight each other to the death, a version of China's Cultural Revolution. The novel is starting to seem prophetic. Grab your Kalashnikov and kill everybody who is not exactly like you, blasting your way across a devastated landscape until you yourself die heroically. That sounds great in theory, but just ask anybody who lived through the Balkan Wars in the early 90s what it's like to actually live it. It's not so fun. As always, good night and good luck. Maniac.